Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to JJ's PC Builds. You know, it's JJ with you once again. First time here, hit the subscribe button. Keep me working. Hit the like button. Keep YouTube working. Trust me, keep YouTube working. Keep hitting the like buttons. Keep hitting it on all the videos, and help me get over 4,000 watch hours. I can't watch 4,000 watch hours, guys. It takes all my subscribers to give me a hand on that, and I would appreciate it. But today we are here because I got something in the box. So let's go ahead and go down and see what's cooking. So I'll pan you guys down, so that way you guys don't have to worry. You'll see it. There we go. There we go. That's good enough for me. So hopefully it's good enough for you. Trusty knife. Let's see how we get into the box. Okay, that's one way. That's another way. So far, so good. Let's see. Boy, they got this wrapped up better than a Christmas package. Better than a Christmas package in Christmas. So. All right, guys. Let's see what we got. Did I get it all? Oh, I forgot one little seal. There we go. Seal of approval. Alrighty. It looks like we got, we got a book. I like having books. It's called PCJMK5 Cool. And it gives you instructions how to set it up. So I'll give you guys an idea of what we're going to be working on. Right there. Yes, this is an open air PC test bench. Open air PC test bench. But this video, we're only going to be unboxing it. And in the next video, which you guys are going to have to wait for, we will build it. How about that? We will build it. Goodie box. You get all the screws and stuff and all that. Plastic end caps. Metal corners. And one piece of the puzzle. Now let's get into the second piece of the puzzle. We got another box. We have another box that we got to figure out the puzzle here. So let's see what's in this box. Okay, let's take everything out of the box. Make sure that all that's that. We'll put that box off to the side. Oh, a start switch. A start switch. Looks like we got one of the side acrylic side pieces. We got some gloves that are never going to fit my hands. We got the back plate. We got the button holder. This holds the button. Ooh. Uh-oh. Let's put that right there so it doesn't slide into the case. Looks like we got another bracket. The bracket for the PSU. We got more hardware. And we got the body. So it looks like this is black and red. I thought this was going to be all red, but it looks like it's black and red. That's different. Thought it was black and red. Or I thought it was red, but now I'm gathering it's a mix. So, all labeled, ready to go. We got our book. Put this box out of the way. This out of the way. So, let's pan back up. Guys, hopefully it's all here. So, what you do is to make sure is you go through the book. Tells you got 1 260 here. You got 3 260s, D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make sure this is D1. We got one of these. D2, we got 3 D2s. We got So we got 3 D2s. We got 1 D3, which is right here. We got 2 D4s, and we got 2 D5s. Okay, so now we got the body. We know it's here. We got all the knurls that go into these bodies, if I remember right. Got 2 brackets. Got 2 brackets, 3 brackets. We got a set of gloves. We got that right there. Button holder. And we got that right there. And a switch. We got a switch. And we got those and that. I like the case. I like the case. Yeah. Got 2 Allen's keys. 2 Allen wrenches. Got 2 Allen wrenches. Some more screws. Some more screws. And we got standoffs. We got some standoffs here. And the rest of the mounting for the motherboard. Slip rings to go in between the joints. You know how you can connect a threaded screw. Tell you what, right there. That's how you connect a threaded screw to the body of the chassis. So, looks like everything is here as far as I can see. Looking good. This come all the way from Shenzhen, China, guys. This come all the way from China. And I ordered it off of Walmart. So that's pretty much it. There's not much else to this. So let me pan up. This is the unboxing of this. The PCJMK5 Cool 5. Which you can buy them on Walmart. They're less than, this cost like $53 with shipping. So it was a really good deal. Gives you everything you need to know. So what do I think about it? Well, I can't judge it right now because we haven't put it together. But I can tell you all these parts in the next video. We're going to put all this together, right? And see how it looks. So you're going to have to stick around for those videos. Because after I get this done completed, everything in here, if you guys can't see it, you guys can't see it. Everything in here is going to go right here. So, just to give you guys that idea of what's coming next, that's what's going there. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to have a couple minutes with you guys and tell you why. Make sure you get. Well, see, I just had to stop the video. Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to give you that quick unboxing video. Say hi to Mr. Machine, everybody. Say hi, Mr. Machine.
Hello.
So we got Mr. Machine on the microphone over there. We got me over here. Guys, I'm doing something that's different. I told you guys I'm going to be putting things together. And I got some things I'm putting together. So I'll show you why I'm telling you got things put together. So we'll kind of move things around a little bit. Come on, this camera is taking too long. Oh, it can't bend its neck that far. Make sure y'all got your drink and snacks. Okay, this is what we got here. This is what we got going on right now. So we got this thing here.
A little dusty on your monitor.
Yeah, I know, right? I got to clean that dust off.
It picks all that up.
Yeah, I know. That's something. That's what I can do. Damn, like, yeah, I got this right here. I need to get some good ideas about it, you know? I mean, I watched people use these. Not many, but I watched people use these. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what can I do to make it right? Well, let's see. I could do a small test bench here. I can do it right here. And then I can go and do, or a bigger motherboard. I mean, damn. All this noise over here. Put that
Can you
over there.
adjust those bars up and down? The black ones?
What do you mean tilt? You mean these?
Hold on. Just got to catch up. The ones that would support the
GPU, the CPU, I mean the motherboard?
Yeah, can you move those up and down?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
The black bars you can move up and down.
Okay, cool. You can adjust it.
Yes,
okay.
It's adjustable. So basically, this one was close to an ITX. This one's close to a MATX/ITX. It's a weird make. This is an MATX that I'm using right here. So it would still fit. Well, maybe if I put it the right way, guys, you should have said, hey, Jay, put it the right way.
There is no right way.
There is no right way. So, to give you an idea, you can put the motherboard right there, right? I mean, I can go air cooler, you know?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. You got fans built into it, so yeah.
Yeah, I could take and go air and go that and put a. I got a different air cooler, so I can always go a smaller, thin line air cooler. You know. I don't think that's too bad.
Nope.
That's why I'm holding it up here right now, so you're just getting to see the video. Yep, it's coming to you. So you see what I mean, right?
Yep.
Just getting a good idea.
And then the PSU goes on the opposite side, I'm assuming?
The power supply, yes. The power supply is going to come right back here. Since I'm not going to be using small form factor an SX power supply, I want to use a full power supply.
Yeah. So you can take the black bar off the other side, put it on the side of your PSU, and have it rest on there.
Why would I want to do that?
I'm just asking.
Well, now machine.
Okay.
I'm going to be holding something up to you.
Okay. I don't know what parts came with it.
Yeah, there's this. I'm getting ready to show you the part right here.
Okay.
So by the time it catches up with you and you see it, you'll see it.
Well, it comes with the fan holders and yeah. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
You see that black part right there?
Yep.
This will go down to the bottom side.
Okay.
It connects right there to the bottom side. You know, you're asking about the power supply, how to rest it on it.
Yeah.
It'll rest on this black bar and the red one.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. You can adjust that depending on the size of the power supply.
Yes, sir.
Cool. I mean, it seems pretty simple.
And the thing, let me get this motherboard out of the way. The thing is the black bar that's down at the bottom, you can adjust it this way.
Yeah.
To equal the length of the red bars. You know, you can move it and adjust it.
Right.
So that way you can fit a full Monty power supply here. You know, a big old power supply, you should be able to fit it right here.
Yep. Looks like there's plenty of room for cords and everything, especially with an open bench.
Right. Yeah. There's plenty of room in the back for the cords and stuff.
Yep.
I don't think I have anything to worry about because I use those Velcro ties in the back.
Yep, it's a good idea to do that. So that way they're not just flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
Yep. So
well, the whole purpose of that is if you're using tie straps, the plastic ones, it just doesn't fold out well for me. So that's why I use the Velcro.
Plus, you got to cut those things.
Yeah. It's just when it's Velcro, you can put it on, put it together, and you're done.
Yep. And then when you need to take it apart, it's easy to do.
Right. So we got this right here. You guys hear that little jingle? See that what that'll do is that little hoop is supposed to sit right here. That little hoop's supposed to sit right here. Well, in front of here, but that's where that hoop's supposed to sit. And on the back side, this right here, this is supposed to sit right here.
What does that do? Support the power supply?
Yes, that's the 4 screws you put in front of the power supply.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they go right there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Keep it from sliding off.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, it doesn't look like a bad design at all.
No, it's not a bad design.
It's so simple.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's very simple.
That thing probably costs $10 to make in China.
Well, with the price of aluminum right now, I don't think that it'd be like that cheap. I think it'd be a little more expensive than that. Because it's anodized aluminum. You know? Only thing I think they screwed up on was the screws for the power supply. I'm not gonna take and screw all these down. I'm just putting it there for the look.
Right. Because you have to adjust it as the motherboard goes on and stuff.
Yep.
Motherboard first, then you put the rest of the stuff on.
Yeah, you got to make your little adjustments here and there in every square.
Yep. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for the price for 47 bucks?
Yeah, it's not bad. I'd say that's it's going to stay cool. It's aluminum, strong.
Well, it gives a better advantage when you're doing bench testing.
Yep.
I think. And like I tell you, there's more that's going to be coming to.
Yep, non-magnetic. It's going to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little floppy right now because I don't have it tightened down, but with the power supply tray, I'm going to have to shave down the end of the screws a little bit because they're too long. I was looking at all the screws and they're all the same length.
Okay.
So I'm going to, it's like a tenth of a millimeter. And make sure you guys got one of these too. This is a millimeter gauge. This is a millimeter gauge. You're going to need this when you're putting this together because you have to measure the length of the holes and you know where you want to put the centerpiece, the bottom piece. See these top piece, centerpiece, bottom piece, all 3 of these pieces are movable. What you want is not to move the red pieces. The red pieces you want to keep right where they're at. Once you got it centered, then everything will be everything. So I think. So yeah, I mean, let's see. LMTBK, good to see you, man. Yep. Make sure you got your coffee. So yeah, machine. I used one of these millimeter gauges to test it out and everything else. I mean, it's a pretty thick one. I mean, that's like 40 millimeters. It's got 40 millimeters to it. Each one of these bars is 40 by 40 millimeters. That's pretty thick, I think. So, I think that's pretty thick. The one thing,
Same thing.
huh?
Nothing.
No, you said something. Go ahead, bro.
I said my girl says the same thing.
Oh my God. Dirty mind, TMI, TMI. Here's where I think they screwed up, though. The GPU tray, I think that's where they screwed up, was down at the bottom. It's too floppy at the bottom. So I'm going to have to modify this so it's not floppy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think I got a good idea how to do that. Because,
well, I don't think it will be floppy once you get your connected and then your GPU in there.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it is. So what they did send me was one of these brackets that they didn't tap. You know, I have one of these brackets that they didn't screw tap.
You think you could slide the whole unit down an inch?
Why would I do that? I wouldn't have enough room for my PSU.
So you put your power supply in
On the other side.
Yeah. And then you slide the main unit as close as you can to the power supply, and maybe that gives you enough room.
Yeah, but I've already measured for the power supply width. Because you're going to end up turning it up on its side.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not going to run flat. It's going to be up on its side, because that's the way the bracket. That's how it's going to hold it.
Okay. We'll still be able to breathe without a problem. So.
Oh yeah. It'll definitely be able to breathe.
Yeah, it'll breathe just fine sideways too. Yeah.
Well, you got to remember the power cords come out the back of it. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't come out of the side. It comes out the back of it. So if I flip it up on its side and put the fan pointing away from the motherboard, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the fan on the PSU is pointing away from the motherboard, and on top of it, it doesn't take in air there. It takes in air through the back, and it pushes it out the fan.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean,
it'll be interesting to mess around with it.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun, bro.
Yeah.
See, when you want to learn how to build, you know, I've always used a test bench. I've always used a PC as a test bench. You know, I figured some way of getting the mounting brackets the right way I want them and stuff, and you know.
Are you gonna do a video with you putting that stuff on there?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm not doing it today. I'm just getting, you guys are here giving me ideas. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get ideas. You know, I'm giving you guys the platform that I'm using. You get what I'm saying? I'm showing you the platform that I'm using. And here, I'll move it down a little bit more.
What do you think, MPBK? Need some input.
And like I said, man, I mean, if I want to envision, you know, just like putting like, you know, problem I'm going to have is where they put this, where they put the tray for the GPU, this tray on the side. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to mount the motherboard, because that tray is going to be hitting the, where you mount the tray, it's going to be hitting the motherboard.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking at it. I might have to end up moving it to the middle instead of pushing it all the way over there. But then you got a problem in the bracket that hold the GPU. Ooh.
Why?
Well, look how big the bracket is, bro.
I can't see it.
Oh.
You can turn it. Yeah. But you can raise and lower that, right?
Well, they did send another bracket.
Okay.
They did send another bracket that's, here, I'll just put it in camera light so then let it come up to you.
Okay.
So they got one that's a full bracket and they got one that's a partial bracket.
Put the partial in there. There you go, yeah. That'll be enough right there. Because you're not using more than one GPU.
True.
And it'll save space.
Right.
I mean, the one with the more will be more secure if you can make it fit, but if not, I would just, that's cool. They gave you two.
Yeah, they did. That's
on the side of your motherboard.
I was sitting there thinking about it, and because most of my graphics cards anyway is only going to take up 2 slots,
right?
So,
but even if it goes over 2 slots, you just need to connect it to. I mean, it holds 3 screws in that two spot one.
The 2 spot one holds only 2 screws.
Okay. Yeah, well, it won't hold any massive GPUs, but you don't have anything big.
No, not that so, big and bulky.
Yeah. Even if it's three slots, it'll still be okay.
Yeah, true.
It'll be fine.
Well, it can overhang. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's a deal breaker,
Right. Yeah.
So
you have to mess around with it. That'll be the last thing you put on there, won't it?
Well, the GPU would be the last thing you put on there.
Right. Yeah. But you'll know more once you get a motherboard on there, and then you can see which one you need to use.
Yeah, because I still got to move these bars, Yeah. And there's still, this is not all set in stone. This is just a preliminary put together kind of thing.
Huh.
This is just basically kind of put it together, see where it fits.
I'm interested in seeing your temps.
If you remember, I showed you, I made that picture of the 4 fans.
Yeah.
I can always get a second one of these, right? Another one of these for like $47.
And just connect fans on it.
No, and put this side by side. Not side by side, but forward and back.
Because you can put fans on the front, right?
Yeah.
Just wondering how that's going to work. I'm curious how much your temps are going to be affected by the fact it doesn't have a case. I mean, your CPU is going to be fine. It's air cooled by itself. That's not going to be a problem. It's just the GPU, correct?
All I need is one fan that's hitting the motherboard.
Okay.
That'll keep the temp of the motherboard down. So I just put that on there temporarily so we can get an idea
You always just put a big old box fan right there on the side.
Yeah, I know, right?
That would give you all kinds of airflow.
No, I think that bracket fits in between. It's a little bit hole spacing wise. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, so hole spacing wise in between this bracket, it's so close.
So you don't have to worry about anything on the back touching the metal because it's not conductive.
No, the standoffs will be push it away from the metal.
Okay.
What I'm thinking is that there's one screw that's going to be on the motherboard that's not going to be able to be attached because of the bracket.
You have 3 though.
You got 9. Some motherboards got 9. Some motherboards got 8.
Oh, well, 1 won't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
True color theme reminds of Asus.
Well, thinking about it, the one that's right here, that's below the headphone jack, that one I'm not too concerned about. It's just the one that's below that I would be concerned about.
I would definitely do a live build on this.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea.
Well, I'm not going to start anything right now. I told you until I get that desk.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, maybe, no, I wouldn't do a live build. I wouldn't do a live one.
No, I'm talking about regular video build.
Yes, a regular video build would be awesome on this.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I'm just here. We're just here messing with this. We're getting a projection to see what it looks like. You know, what we can do with it. Is it a possibility that we can put 2 of them together? See, because if I turn and flip this, right, and I put one here, just like this, put one here, you'll see it in a minute, machine. And I bridge the 2 right here, and then I got 2 tower top areas, and then I can put and bridge the 2 across the top, and I can put an AIO cooler right above that. And then in front of that, I could put 4 fans.
You could put the AIO cooler on the front, but then you don't have fans.
Yeah, I can put it on the front.
Yeah. Then what, you connect fans on the bottom and have air blowing up?
I was thinking about how, like, you got it in the case, you know, the case over here. Like, you got the AIO on top. I was thinking about bridging 2 of them together and having that same look. You know what I mean?
It seems flimsy, though.
Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to picture it. I might not be picturing it properly.
Well, take one of these, double it up, move it right across, and put it right here in front of it. Bridge the legs at the bottom. What I was telling you before, that at the bottom of the leg, I wanted to put a hinge system here to where you can take and open it up like a book, like this. You can open it up like a book. And then you got a locking hinge in front, so you can open it up like a book, and
the
then
fans will be on that.
it'll look really cool. You know, I think.
Yeah, I mean, hey, wherever you think will work, you're an engineer, man. You know,
yeah,
you've got that mindset.
Well, if you remember, I showed you the pictures of what was it? Let me see if I can find them. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it moved around. There we go. See right here? It'll come in a minute. You have to give it a minute.
Okay.
Okay, you should be able to get ready to see it any second.
Yeah, I see it. I see it now. Okay.
So
you can't bridge them.
You can bridge them.
Hmm.
You can bridge these together because they got slots.
Okay.
And you can put metal pieces. You can put 4 metal pieces and bridge them together if you want. Or you can take and make a hinge system on one side and make a lock on the other. I think it would look cool on the table if it's like, opened up like a accordion kind of thing. Wouldn't you?
So what would you do on the other side?
The one side, oh shit. Okay.
That'll hold your motherboard and your main stuff.
Well, one side will be for your motherboard and all the goodies, right?
Okay.
The other side is just going to be for like if you want to put an AIO cooler or fans, right? There's enough room in there to do that, and there's enough room. Well, hell, you can put more than one AIO. You can put an AIO for a GPU. You can put an AIO for your CPU.
If it's on the other side, how are you going to open it? Because it'll be connected to those parts.
You see the red feet?
Yeah.
The red feet, they have slots in the red feet. Okay?
Okay.
You can slot in a hinge, and
Okay.
they got knurled screws that poke right into the metal piece, the red piece. It'll tighten in with Allen screws.
So how would you actually fold it? Just so I'm understanding it properly.
Just like this. See, when you got it together and you got it hinged, when you got it hinged, it'll sit like in a V. The feet, they'll sit like in a V.
Oh, okay. So there'll be plenty of play between the hoses?
Yes.
Okay, I was worried about the hose play.
No, because when you put the AIO in, if you're thinking about the CPU, the hose comes around, and you're going to be the length of the AIOs,
Yeah.
the hoses. You got plenty of length.
Okay. So if you have to work on it, you just open it up, work on it, and close it back up when you're in.
Yes.
When you're testing stuff. Okay, I understand.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
You could even go one better and put little wheels at the bottom, so it makes it easier to open and close. You can put little wheels at the bottom of the feet.
Yeah, some casters.
Yeah, you can slide them right in. Let's see what the crew's saying, man. We ain't paying attention to the crew. Let's see. Just thought about where to put this until I remember that Jay is about to put a desk where the gaming bed is now. Yeah, you got it right.
Hey,
I'm going to take that out.
MBTK, he doesn't have any game in that bed, let me tell you.
No, not wild game. No, not right now. It's not wild. And that it takes some time to make these in CNC machines, depends on the materials, or if they use stencils. You're right. True color thing reminds me of Asus. Looks nice. Oh yeah. Some small ATX motherboards have 6 holes. Smaller ATX
form factor.
ITX.
ITX form factor,
yeah. They have 6 holes. But that one there has 8. So.
You build a little Death Star.
Yep.
That's the moon, that's the space station.
The Death Star. The Death Star.
It would be the Death Star if he plugged in a 5090 with a 12-volt high power connection.
Oh, don't give me no idea, man.
Okay. And then that would be the core ready to explode.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be the Death Star.
So what about if you get like a 9070 XT, that's probably going to be a heavy card.
Right.
Is there any way to put a support in there?
Bro, when you got an open test bench, you can do basically anything you want.
Okay. Because it'd be cool to have one of those, like black bars, the ones that's going to hold up the PSU.
Right.
Able to support the GPU for weight. That would help a lot, actually. It can take a lot of pressure off that motherboard. And that's cool. You can have any length GPU you want. Even if it sticks out, it won't matter.
Nope. That's the thing.
Cool.
You can have any length, you can have any width, you can have any height. Well, let's not go with the height kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Interesting. Just airflow, but you can always put more air on it.
That's the reason why I said the second
if you put a water block on that GPU, that would be enough.
Well, I could do that, or I can get some tubes, some more of these square tubes. I can get more of these square tubes and get better locks, because I really don't care for the locks that they got on here, these little fabricated locks, these ones right here. I really don't care for those, because the screws are very small and they strip out really easy. So I'm thinking about getting they got bigger ones that lock into the corners. That might be a better way to go. These are not too bad, for what it is. But it could be better. They could have put better screws.
Yeah, just need to get better screws for it.
Well, look what they're using for to hold up the GPU, that bracket. Those look like better screws. Why wouldn't they use that for the corners?
Because the GPU's heavy.
Bro.
I'm just trying to come up with something.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm not knocking it, bro. I'm not knocking it.
I'm trying to think like they would.
Well, I'm thinking, since I got this good old controller here, I'm thinking that, I could put some kind of controller hanger, kind of thing on it.
Headset hanger, too.
Yeah. That's the reason why I wanted to get a second one, is so that way I can marry those two together and, make it a little bit bigger test bench. It's open air. You can do pretty much anything you want. So, They got a whole bag of these screws too. You know, with all the neural stuff. Yeah. It's basically, I'll pull one of the brackets out. It's basically how this is. See, you got a screw on one side, and that holds the bracket in place. And the other one's for the motherboard tray that holds the motherboard away from, like this. I'll just slide it in there. Maybe you guys can't see it. Maybe I just got to get a close up on it. Let's see. Let's get a little close up on it. Then you guys can see what I mean. They got it like this, so you can tighten these down. And they ain't going nowhere. You see what I'm saying on that?
Yeah, that's a standoff?
Yes.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
That's the standoff.
Well, it seems strong enough.
Oh, yeah, look. I'm putting about maybe 4 pounds of finger pressure on it.
Okay.
So that should be more than enough to hold the motherboard.
Doesn't seem like a bad little unit right there altogether.
No, I mean, it'd be good. See, first-time builders, this would be probably good for a first-time builder as well, because this...
plenty of room to work with.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very adjustable, so if you make a mistake, you can readjust. Taking stuff apart will be easier. Putting stuff together will be easier.
Yeah, you can adjust it any way you want. That's the thing.
Yeah, because when you're in a case, your space is limited. So you got to be real careful.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the case.
Yeah, I agree. I want to make sure my mouth is moving with the video. Does it look like my mouth is moving with the video?
Let me turn the sound back on.
Because I had that same problem the last time. I want to make sure my mouth is moving with the video. Audio.
So it's a little bit. It's a little behind.
I kind of figured that.
Just a tad.
So I'm going to have to figure that out then.
Okay.
No big deal. No big deal. We'll get past it.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's very, very, very small.
Yeah. I don't know what's been going on, man. It's just, it's been acting up like that. So.
Okay.
MTBK says, yes, first-time builders might look up some guides, and then they see where the assembly is limited by space. Mouse is moving to the video, I say about 250 to 300 milliseconds. Yeah, it could be a delay somewhere. I got to figure that out where the delay is. But anyway.
Like I said, it's not serious.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? You know, I mean.
That looks cool.
I mean, by itself, standalone, I mean, you can put together, you know, let's put it like this. If you got, let's say you got GPUs, you got motherboards and all that, right? And you want to figure out how you want to put together another system for stability. You know, so you're putting your system together for stability. That's the reason why you're putting it on test bench, so you can make sure it's stable before it goes into the good old case. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, looking at it that way, I mean, I really don't have a problem with it, you know? I mean, I can make a lot of potential out of this right here. Especially if I'm going to start doing benchmarking, machine.
Mhm.
I start doing benchmarking and everything else. That's gonna be like a savior for me, because I know I'm going to take you guys along with me when I'm doing the benchmarking anyway. So that way, and plus I told you I'm going to get a second camera, like a second Osbot or something.
Mhm.
So that way, when I'm testing it on the bench, you guys can see behind me, you guys can see in front of me, you guys can see what I'm doing, all in one. That sounds pretty cool.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm working towards. So, like I told you, for $100, and that turntable's what, 30 or $40? That remote control for, turntable. I could start doing B-roll action on top of this and get, because I know I'm going to end up getting, what is it? One, two, three, four IKEA tables. Four of them. Four. Because I want one, two, three in the back, right? And I want one that's going to be in the center that I can start doing B-roll shots. Or I can start, with this window that's behind me right here, this curtain thing, that's going to go bye-bye. Because I'm gonna block in the window, and I'm gonna put something there, and I'll probably use it as shelving, you know, shelving behind me, and start turning myself right here. Instead of me being in an angle like this, I'm going to turn myself, and you guys are going to see me directly forward like this on camera. So it's going to be way different. Told you guys back in what, 2024, I was going to start making changes, but until got the financial resourcing, that's the only way I can make the changes. Now I got the financial resourcing. Now I can start making changes. Make sense, machine?
Mhm.
You know. And I'm going to get a rollaway bed, so that way I'll put it right here in the center, and I can put myself up for the night, and then put it away during the day. And then I got this the whole area for my testing room, building room, B-roll room, and beyond. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I wanted everybody to make sure they're watching the videos from beginning to end. From now till 365 days. I need 800 watch time hours. I am that far behind. I wasn't when I didn't have enough subscribers. Now that I hit the 1,000 mark of subscribers, YouTube still will not give me the watch time hours. I've earned over 50, well, The subscribers helped me earn over 15,000 hours in 4 years. So yeah, I'm not that popular. Yeah, I can admit that. I'm not the best in the world making videos. I can admit that. I'm not scared to admit if I do something wrong. But if I do something right, I hope you guys stick around so that way you can, see what I got cooking up my sleeve. So now that I'm doing all this new potential and I'm going to start making things bigger and better, this is where it's going to become more fun. And I hope you guys stick with me. I really do. I want to make up 3 or 4 test benches so that way I can start doing some graphs, some benchmark graphs, and I can start doing some videos on it. So I can start adding in some more hardware like graphics cards, motherboards, and so on. Now, I can't say too much about SSDs and about system RAM at this point in time, but we can slowly build it up to where it needs to be. Instead of me having like things that are like boring and everything else, we're going to make it better. What do you think, Machine? We're going to make it better?
Yep.
You got confidence, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm just got all kinds of confidence.
Oh, funny. Well, I just want people to have confidence in me because this is not over. This is just the beginning. I just want them to understand that, this is the beginning of a new thing. We're coming up to the end. We're coming up to the end of the era of the old, and now we're coming up to the beginning of the new, and the videos are going to come a lot better because I'm going to be working on the B-roll situation so I can get more B-rolls and shots in the videos. Work on the music, work on the editing software. I do admit using Microsoft Clipchamp is not cutting it. I know this, you guys know this, and yes, I know I got to get on DaVinci Resolve and start working with it. I do know this. I admit that. But right now, I'm working with what I have because of the medical problems I'm going through right now. I still got 1 more week to go, and then I get my next injection in my spine for my back, my lower back. And then I have to wait 3 months after that, and they got to do the in between my shoulder blades 3 times, 7 needles, going in about a half inch into my back, kind of thing. It's like about like this much going into my back. Oh, I'm just saying, Machine. You know what I mean? You got anything you want to add to this this little toy that I got?
Nope. It'll be interesting to see the build on it. That's for certain.
Oh yeah.
And the results from testing it and all that. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Now you want to tell everybody you didn't buy this for me, did you?
No.
Okay. So that way they know it came out of my pocket. Because you've been doing a lot for quite a while, and you know, I need to start doing my part too. You know what I mean?
You do your part.
I know. What part do I do?
You make content.
Oh,
that's your part.
Oh, okay. Never
You're
knew
like,
that.
okay.
I never knew that. Yeah. Never knew that. So, yeah, bro. I mean, once I start getting this straightened around, I do have my, where's it? Ugh. Ugh. I do have my tripod here. I got my tripod. I get those tables. I put them all up. And then I got to get that screen that goes in the back. You know, that quick disconnect screen. You guys will see. You'll see. You'll see. And you'll believe, I hope. Hope everybody sticks with me. You know, like I said, I got more to come. Other purpose, too, of having something like this gives me a chance to put builds together. And so, I know sooner or later, people are going to start asking me, when am I going to start doing giveaways and stuff like that? That comes in the future, guys. You just have to be patient. I can't just mysteriously whip money out, you know, out of the thin air and make that work like that. But maybe once a year, once I get everything settled in, I'll start doing it. So make sure y'all stick around for that. This is tea with honey, guys. This is not alcohol. I can't drink. Just to let you know, I cannot drink at all. It'll hospitalize me drinking alcohol. Just to let you know that.
Yeah, because you're medicine.
Yep. You got that right. I enjoy my tea with honey. Honey's good for the heart. Keeps your body moving. So what do you think, Machine? I'm going to get some builds and put them in here and get it going. And
yep.
That'll be my next little trick. Because I can always take what's in this PC here, since I don't really like the case. And this has got my AM4 motherboard with the 5700X, 750 watt power supply. Let me pull this out of the way. This right here, this got 7 fans. No, it's got 9 fans. 750 watt power supply, DDR4 5700X with the 3060, 12 gigabyte. Did I say 64 gigs of RAM?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and it's got a Strix. It's got an Asus Strix B550-A motherboard. This is the one Ancient Gameplay was talking about, that motherboard. He was talking about that motherboard only accepting certain types of power supplies. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So what we'll do is we'll just bring it into it. $750 I just want to show everybody so that way they know what they're looking at. $750 power supply. You know? Alrighty. I know you guys are trying to get used to me moving around the camera a little bit, but I'm just trying to get you guys the shots that you need to see. Hopefully you guys can see all the shots. You know what I mean, machine? I'm starting to get used to the camera. It's going to take a little time. But as far as the build, I'm going to have to do a regular video for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a teardown video to start with and take all the components out of here, clean them all up, get them all spiffy and back to normal, brand new condition. After that, once I got it all back to dedusted and all that, then we'll bring back this here, and we will formulate how we're going to put this together. See where we're going to put the stands, because I'm going to have to pull part of it, some of it back apart again, and then put it together to get the rails to start matching, because you got to put the standoffs in the right spots. So in order to get the standoffs in the right spots, you got to move things around a little bit here and there. So it takes a little bit of time. This build video is not going to be like, show you a shot here, make a cut, show you a shot here, make a cut, show you a shot here, make a cut. Not happening. People want to see how you actually put it together. I mean, when I pull this apart, you'll see how I put it back together. You'll see it's very simple. And the breakdown of this and pull it completely apart, clean all the components and everything else, and then get it ready for prime time. Because I'll pull the case out of here and figure out what I'm going to do with the case for in the future. I don't even know what I'm going to do with the case. Because I got two of these cases. Not just one. I got two of them. I got them on a sale. It's 2 for $100. See how that works? Power supply units are unique and expensive these days. I remember the first ATX 3.0. Ones were $100 or more. Now ATX 3.1 they start at 36 over here. Wow. That's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah. So I'm looking, if I'm going to do this test bench, I'm looking to do 1,000-watt power supply. That's what I'm going to be doing. A 1,000-watt power supply. Reason is, there's going to be a modification to this 1,000-watt power supply. I am tired of seeing things catch fire. So I am going to modify the 1,000-watt power supply, and I'm going to put 2 8-gauge wire connections on the power supply directly from the rail, the 12-volt rail. And I'm going to build a jumper line that goes from the direct rail all the way up to the GPU. So that means, how can I put this? That the jumper wire that connects the 12-volt high power is going to be on 8-gauge. One for the positive, one for the negative. That wire there holds 1,200 watts. So if I need 12-volt high power, I will have access to 1,200 watts. So, since everybody else is doing their thing, and they still can't figure out that the black dye that they use for the soft plastic on the 12-volt high power, that's what's catching fire, because when the terminals are so thin, they're like paper, they heat up and they cause like a burning fuse. And then the plastic melts because of the black dye in the plastic, because it's printed plastic. It's not molded. If it was molded plastic, it would not melt like that, because they use molded plastic for the radiators of your cars. Why did they change the factor of going from hard plastic to molded plastic? Or not hard molded plastic to printed plastic? To save a buck. Everybody's going around the truth. Why do you think the 5090s are catching fire? I'm bringing this up right now because I heard a couple reviewers talk about this, and they said, well, no, maybe because they were using this, they were using that. No, they keep using them dinky little fucking wires instead of using real gauged wire. Real gauge. 2 wires. 8-gauge wires will hold 1,200 watts. It makes no sense. And I'm putting my drink on the table. It makes no sense. This makes no sense, man. That they're using 22-gauge wires and they're trying to pull 10 amps off of each one of those wires.
Well, they're going to do what's cheaper.
It's cheaper to do 2 8-gauge pieces of wire, bro.
I don't know.
It takes less manufacturing to manufacture 2 8-gauge wires compared to doing, 16 of them? 16 22-gauge wires? They would save so much goddamn money by doing it the right way than what they're doing it at the wrong way. I mean, if you think about it, and they did the same principle they did with car audio amplifiers. And they did that on the GPUs. Those GPUs would never starve for power ever. Yeah, you can take and put in your PC what they call the big three. 0 gauge OT wire. 0 gauge. The big fat wire. About like that fat. That's some fat wire too.
Won't that produce a lot of heat with all the power going through one wire?
No, sir.
Okay.
Actually, it reduces resistance.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff at all.
Okay. Let me bring in this to you. The more breaks you have in a cable, the more chance of resistance you have. So you have 16 breaks in that cable times 2. So that's 32 breaks in that cable, right?
Okay.
And then now you got to add an additional 16 breaks in that cable for the other side, where you're connecting into the GPU itself. You got your 16 connections. And then on the other side, you got the wire that connects into the connectors. So you got another 16. And then you go down to the PSU, you got the same 16, and then you got another 16 on the other side. And then you got another 16 going to the rail. Look at how many resistant breaks you have in that wire. But if you make it directly and you only got 4 resistant breaks instead of having like 128, then they would understand why they would get better power to the GPU. They would have unlimited power to the GPU. CPU tester, PC game hardware, Dave. Never had any issues with the 12-volt high power connector on the company's CPU test rig. Raf, who just tested graphics cards, also never had any issue. So their cable's fine. Well, I understand that. But when these guys are talking about, doing what, 1,000 watts? 1,000 watts on a GPU? Don't you think having 1,200 watt wire, 2 big thick cables, that you can take them, those cables, you can take and loom those cables and make it look really nice. But no, they got to run so many of the little dinky ass wires. Why? It's not necessary. It's not necessary to run that much wire to get the same outcome. Okay, so the total amount of 22 gauge that they use for the 12 wires is only equaling up to 12 gauge. Especially when you're running a 600 watt GPU and you're only getting 375 watts of power draw. That's it. All 16 wires are only going to give you 375 watts of draw power. You get nothing else. Now, if you use 2 8-gauge wires, you have all the way up to 1,200 watts of draw power without starving your GPU. Why do you think your GPU has problems keeping up? Why do you think it artifacts a lot and everything else? Maybe because you're starving the shit out of it from your power supply to the GPU. Maybe people understand that if you use those dinky wires, you're not pulling enough power through that way, so that your PCIe connection's pulling 75 watts. Actually, mine was pulling almost 80 because of the size of the wire. For the external PCI connector. It wasn't pulling enough power through the PCI connector. So that means the GPU starts starving. Guess what it does? It fights for its existence. So it pulls 75 watts through the PCIe lanes. And if it doesn't get enough on one end to balance, it's going to pull it from the other end. And then you're going to burn out your motherboard, CPU, your RAM, and everything else to go along with it. All because they wouldn't use two wires. Two fat wires. That makes sense, machine?
Yeah, I just looked it up real quick. And Tech Power Up has a little thing that says instead of relying on the single extra thick wire, the 12 volt by 6 cable bundles 12 smaller wires together. By dividing 600 watts of power across multiple smaller pins, design increases the total conductive surface without requiring an unmanaged thick main cable.
That's bullshit.
Let's see. This is what, of course, this is just looking it up on.
I know, but I'm telling you, it's bullshit.
Engineering website.
I know, but I'm telling you from a professional. I do electronics. I've done electronics for many of years, and I can tell you, drawing from a one big single wire compared to 10 to 12 to 14 single wires, you pull more amperage through one of those single wires than you would an 8-gauge wire.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just telling you what they say.
I know, but if you pull ample power for every foot, you lose 1% for every foot. So if you're running about 3 feet of wire from your GPU to your power supply,
it shouldn't be that much.
Well, I'm just estimating. I'm just saying right. 3 feet.
It's less than a foot.
So if you use 2 wires that are even at 3 feet, they're 8-gauge wires. You know what the loss percentage is?
What?
0.16%. Not even 1%, because the amount of load that you're pulling off of that. But all those, my point is all those little breaks on each one of those wires add up to resistance. But if you eliminate the resistance, then you'll get more ample power to your GPU. You understand?
Yeah. I'm just like I said, I'm just reading what they're writing. This also said that because modern PC cases and GPUs require compact internal design, thicker gauge cables would be increasingly stiff, difficult to route in tight spaces, and could restrict critical airflow over graphic card. No,
that's bullshit.
Yeah. The higher power connector addresses the need to supply massive amounts of power safely without resorting to inflexible ultra thin wiring.
Those little wires are more brittle than one big fat wire. Understand how they twist the braids inside each one of those wires. How many? And MTBK, I want you to answer this question. How many single strands of wire are in each one of those cables? You got supposedly 16 gauge, but the copper is 22 gauge. The OD is on the plastic is 16 gauge, but inside the inner diameter, the ID is 22 gauge. How many strands do you get in one cable? By twisting each one of those cables, how many strands of wire do you break in each one of those little cables? Think about this, machine.
Okay.
Think about, by you bending and twisting those wires, how many strands of braid do you break in those wires each time? Compared to an 8-gauge wire, which holds consistency of each strand without straining and breaking each one. But here's the thing. They make special wire that's Teflon. That's 8-gauge Teflon. That it will not break the wires. It will take you like this, doing it about 500 times to break that. And how many times do you move your wires through your GPU? Not 500 times. Not like Jay's 2 cents. To where he's got to flip it in, out, flip it in, out, flip it out. That's if you're testing stuff. But the thing is this. That 8-gauge wire is going to hold up longer than all those, that 12-volt high power. It'll outlast that 12-volt high power. Especially the connection on the ends are more solid wire compared to that flimsy little aluminum piece of a connection that's in there. You see what I'm saying, right? That's tinfoil. That's tinfoil that's inside each one of those female connections are like tinfoil. So are you expecting to pull 10 amps off of tinfoil? Then you can go to your kitchen, get some tinfoil. And this is a good experiment for you. Take and get a lamp with a 60-watt light bulb. Put the 60-watt light bulb in there. Get yourself a piece of acrylic. Put it right there. Take a piece of tinfoil, flat piece of tinfoil strip, just about this big and a little strip. Put it right there. Plug your lamp in, but you got 2 live cords. Put it on the tinfoil. See how long that tinfoil lasts. That's exactly the same thing you're doing with the 12-volt high power. When it draws the energy through those little pieces of tinfoil. But when you use a fat 8-gauge wire and it's tinned at the end, and all you got to do is use a little Allen screw to put it on to a decent connector, so you don't have to throw the wire away. Come on, guys. It's not rocket science.
It also says, unlike older PCIe power cables, the 12-volt 2x6 includes built-in data sense pins. These pins communicate directly with the power supply and GPU.
Bro, you know what data sense pins are? They're ground cables. They're ground pins. See, it's not a sense pin. It's just a ground pin that's hooked up onto the cable that runs through. It makes a bridge connection of ground inside the GPU. So that way, it goes to one of the ICs and it makes a bridged connection from the ground of the cable through to the IC chips, the power management system. Because if it's not there, then it's only going to give you like 1/2 of the power.
It says if the cable isn't seated perfectly or if it's bent too severely, the pins won't contact, preventing the GPU from drawing dangerous levels of current that cause overheating.
Bro, that's all crap. What they're spewing out of the internet is all crap.
Yeah, I looked it up. Of course, I'm
But
not saying
you can read whatever you want to read, but
I know,
I've tested many different styles of cables when it comes to power cables. I used to be heavy into car audios. I had to take and put line loads on, car audio and test the car audio to make sure that the cable I put between the battery and the amplifiers and the batteries that are right next to the amplifiers to make sure it can handle every voltage, every little amp it draws. They tell you, oh, it's not flexible. Where the fuck? What are you using? They're using solid core house line or something.
Yeah, they're using the same thing for extension, like the extension cord for power equipment.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, that's what they're using. At least what you plug your lamp in, at least the cord's thick enough, But what they're using, they're using something smaller than lamp cord. They're using the stuff that they use for those pot lights that you put up in the ceiling, the little tiny wire for your pot lights. That's about what they're using. But the UL rating they're using is wrong. They're taking 12 volts and they're trying to pull 20 amps through 12 volts and using wire that's graded for 110 volts at a half an amp. That's what they're using. 110 volt wire at a half an amp. Hold on, guys.
Okay.
Well, no, I can still talk with you guys. Just I'm coming over here.
I mean, from what I'm reading from actual electrical engineers, they said the same thing you said is by using less cables, there's less resistance.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the more you split it off, the more resistance you'll get, the more errors that could happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's 125% rule. That means that if, for instance, a 600 watt, the cable is rated for 600 watts, you use 25% less than what it says. So you'd want to use around 500 watts. You wouldn't want to go to 600 and max it out. But on a regular cable, you could max it out. If it's just like one cable.
Right.
Because of the resistances, it's going to give up 25% of the power. Not all the time, but safety-wise, you want to give up 25%.
The path of least resistance is ground.
Yep.
Okay. Where they're making the biggest mistake is it's not the voltage coming in, but it's the voltage that's returning back to ground, because it's pulling the voltage back to ground through the power supply. Oh, by the way, I'm having cake, guys. I'm having cake. That's why I jumped over there. Some good cake, too. You understand, machine? When you get and they teach you this in electronics school, the more bricks you got in a wire, the more path of resistance you got, and the more path of resistance you got, path of resistance will give you what? What will it give you?
The least path of resistance?
No. The path of resistance, not the least of the path of the resistance. The path of resistance. What is it going to give you?
I don't know.
Heat.
Okay.
This is the same problem they're having. The overheating of the connectors. It's the path of resistance, not the least of resistance. It's the path of resistance that they're having a problem, not the least. The least goes to ground, but the path of resistance is your 12 volt coming in. They got too much of a path of resistance. By adding each one, because they got 4 sense pins, they got 10 total wires, so they only got like 5 hot pins and they got 5 ground pins on that connector. They got 5 hot pins, they got 5 ground pins, right? And they got 4 sense pins. So out of the 5 hot pins, now they got each one of those pins pulling a path of resistance on the hot side. And now on the return side, they got another path of resistance on the ground side coming back, because now it's going to be pulling power back to Earth. So when you got direct DC, direct current, alternating current does this: it flips back and forth. Direct current is in a cycle. So when you pull power, and if you're using 5 hot wires, if they're not the exact same length, I mean exact, right down to the T, right down to the bitter T, what'll happen is that the shorter one is going to be the one that pulls more power than the rest of them, because it's shorter to ground. It's the least path of least resistance. Now it pulls through that one wire. That's where they're having the problem, machine. Is if the length of the wires are not the same on the hot, that's going to pull more to one lane than it's going to pull all through the 5.
And that's if it's pulling a lot of wattage, right?
Yes.
But what is a lot? Over 400 watts?
When you draw power, when you're drawing power, you're creating heat. When more power you draw, the more resistance you have between 2 connections. You have more heat. So in order to eliminate the heat, you make the wire fatter. So that way, instead of having 5 places, you're going to have resistance problems. You only got 2. Instead of having 5 small little ones and burning up your plug, you only got 2. One for hot and one for ground. So that's actually 1.
So why don't they do that then?
They're fucking stupid.
Because even the 8 pins don't do that.
I know. They're stupid, brother.
And then they had 4 pins like 15 years ago, right? 4 pins was the standard.
Yeah, but they were running 14 gauge wire too.
Okay. But there's got to be some reason.
That is the reason. The more wires you use, the more resistance, and the more resistance is more heat. That's it. That's the whole equation. And by them using soft plastic instead of hard molded, the 8-pin connectors, they use hard plastic with that. You notice why they're white? They're almost clear, see-through.
Mm-hmm.
You add black to that, guess what? You make that into soft plastic by adding the black dye to it. Then it turns it into soft plastic. I think they're using printed plastic. And I think they're trying to use the least amount of metal that they can in every wire that goes into those connectors. And sometimes the machine's breaking off maybe 1 or 2 of the wires, the strands. That's causing more resistance when you break off a strand. Look, when an 8-gauge wire has more strands that it can afford to lose 1 or 2, those 16 to 22 gauge wires can't afford to lose none, because you're only going to have like 12 strands. Not even that, maybe less. You might have like 10 strands. You could have 14, depending on the size of the wire. So it's a big problem when these companies get their head out of their ass and figure it out. I just told you all the equations. Truthfully, I just told you guys the complete equation of the whole thing. The whole equation of the whole problem. You understand, machine?
Yes.
How you test the theory? Take a braided piece of 16 gauge, pull off 3 or 4 of the braids, and take and run an ammeter and on the wire and run they got a thing to where you can take and you can test the amperage and pull amperage through that wire, the max amp of that wire. And you'll see the wire will actually burn the plastic off of the wire just by losing 2 to 4 braids of that wire. That wire will melt. At 10 amps, it'll melt. Just by 2 to 4 braids being lost. Do you think they're that smart they can actually figure that one out? Did Jay go to school? I had to every day. It's not rocket science, guys. It really isn't. Well, understand this, MTBK. If a GPU is pulling less than 100 watts, I would not worry about having an 8-pin connector on there, because you got 4 of them that are pulling hot that are definitely going to be 16 gauge core, copper core, that they use heavier connectors. If you notice that on an 8-pin connector, it's heavier connectors than it is on that 12-volt high-power piece of shit that they're trying to sell everybody. But everybody needs to wake the hell up that the way they're making their money is by screwing the public by putting that bullshit that they're trying to sell everybody. Look, I can care less. You know why your graphics card catches fire? One, they're using soft plastic. They're using black dye. They're using the wrong type of connections, male and female connections. They're too thin. That doesn't work with electricity. Like I said, take your good old grandma's tinfoil and run 110 volts right over the tinfoil with 60 watts, and 60 watts gives you at 110 volts how many amps? Just right over a piece of tinfoil that you get from your grandma's kitchen. So figure it out. It's not rocket science. How many strands in each cable through the morning? I am behind in the video. I'm not sure. Some you got different gauges. 8 gauge could be like maybe 3,000 strand, depending on the thickness of the wire. It could be 4,000 strand. 12 gauge stranded could be 36 strand. 10 gauge could be 1,500 strand. 14 gauge could be, in the 40s. But your 16 gauge could be 18 or less. Your 22 gauge could be 12. See, the higher you go up in number, the smaller the gauge. The more you go down in the number, the fatter the gauge. So you get 1% resistance for every foot. You get 1% resistance for every foot. So if you're using 2 feet of wire, you're using 2% of resistance just off the wire alone. The resistance gets smaller when the wire gets fatter. You gain that resistance back with the wire becoming fatter. Because now it's got more travel. Your hot connection's got more travel. It's got more space. But when you start making it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, you're choking it. Then you're creating a hot plate. Electric stoves, to be exact. Go turn the electric stove on. You see that hot plate coil? That's exactly what you're doing when you're making the wire smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're trying to pull 800 to 1,000 watts off of something that's just so small it can't handle it. You're overstressing the wire. And plus, with the wire being machined from companies, they could break a couple strands and you're screwed. That's the reason why they're having problems with the wire, because they're using 22 gauge and they could have a couple strands that are broken. At the top of where the GPU connects, or even at the bottom where it connects to the PSU. You break a couple strands out of that 22 gauge, and if they don't have the length correctly, boom, instant fire, because that's what happens every time. The length is wrong on the first pin and the second pin, and that's why those two always catch fire. It's not rocket science, guys. If you think I'm full of shit, you shouldn't be here. Seriously.
I know nothing about electrical. I know nothing.
Yeah, I understand MTBK. Replace copper cables with fiber optic. Well, how are you going to get the power from point A to point B when it's all light driven? Oh, yeah, that's right. You have, what do you call it? I forgot the name of them. To where they accept light and they bring a charge. And that way, you got the little chargers right there with the light coming in, the fiber optic light coming in, and it's actually turning on those chargers to generate power to the GPU instead of running cables at all. Basically, the only cables you got is light generated, then there's no fire, other than what the GPU manufacturers make inside their GPUs. Yeah, they could do it that way. They could do it that way. And that way they would have unlimited power and they wouldn't have to worry about it catching fire. These PCs are no different than a car battery, bro. There's no difference between a PC and a car battery. It's all direct current. A car battery runs 12 volts. PC runs 12 volts. Direct current. That runs direct current. Same thing. You can take a 12-volt battery, set it right on your desk that's fully charged, and then all you need is an adapter for the 5.5 volt and the 3 volt. You can connect your whole computer right off of a 12-volt car battery. So like I said, there's no difference. None. I know people that tried it before and were successful. They ran their computer off of a car battery. And what they did with the car battery, they hooked it onto a solar power charging system that went right to the battery. Well, it went to one battery that jumped over to the next battery. So that way the one battery acted as a filter for the next battery. So, yeah, they had 4,000 watts all day long. Filtered energy. That means everything that went from the car battery to the PC was filtered. That means you don't have any line drop or anything else. It was great. Alternating current is flip-flopping the current back and forth between the two legs, single pole. Direct current means that your hot goes one way and then circles back through your ground. So it's direct current, goes through a circle. Not like alternating current goes back and forth like this. Direct current goes in a complete circle. Like I said, it's not rocket science. I spent just as long as I have doing computers, I spent 3 decades working on electronics, TVs, stereos, whole 900 yards, CB equipment, the whole 900 yards. So when it comes to knowing the thickness of wires, it's not hard. I don't know why people make it so hard and so complicated when it's simple. If you got a graphics card that pulls 600 watts, what do? Very simple. In order to lower the amount of resistance, you double the wire. That puts the resistance in half. So basically, it is under tolerance. There's a tolerance level. And the way they're running this right now, it's bullshit. They got too high of tolerance on these wires, causing too much friction, causing too much resistance. And too much resistance causes fires. We all know a music group that made their name out of learning what kinds of power delivery there is. Well, yeah, I had no other choice working in the ham community, radio community. So, yeah. If you want to get to the nitty gritty, I had to learn all that. I had to learn how resistors, capacitors, transistors, all that, how they work. Going from a transistor, is it a fast moving transistor? Is it a slow moving transistor? Is it a PNP transistor? Or is it an NPN transistor? Or, is it a MOSFET transistor? What, like, what's the tolerance on your resistors? Is it a 1%, 5%, 10% tolerance? What's the silver strip, gold strip for on a resistor? What's the color codes for black, blue, green, yellow, blood, and so on? Right? You want to get into the technical part. I have all day. But I can tell you for a fact, not fiction, they need to change the wire they're using. 2 wires is all they need. 2. They don't need nothing else. That's what I've been trying to tell you. They don't need nothing else. They're purposely burning up 5090s by doing it this way. Purposely. That means they're making you come out of pocket for it. That's why they're denying some of the RMAs. You guys don't see the purpose. You guys don't see where they're making the money. They're going to keep screwing you until you say, I give up. And then you walk away from PC forever. Does that sound right, Machine?
Well,
seriously, what's your 2 cents on this, man?
Well, I don't know. I don't know much about a lot of that stuff.
But it comes down to end of the day, what are they trying to do? They're trying to burn your shit up that you paid $3,000, $3,500 for because they're mistakes, and it's not really a mistake. Guys, it's not a mistake. It's intentional. But you just don't see it. That's why everybody likes walking away from my channel. That's why they don't like sticking around to find out what I'm going to say next. Because I can tell you, I can hurt somebody's feelings really quick. The power of my word is very good. And I know my shiz. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen this. I've seen this back from the 70s till today. I know my shiz. You know that, Machine?
Mm-hmm.
I think what people don't understand, and the reason why they don't like sticking around on my channel, is because I'm not controversial. I'm not here to be controversial. I'm here to teach, educate, and tell you. The reason why I started my channel in the beginning, and I'm going to say it again, is because I got tired of watching other YouTubers do their videos and give you guys a line of shit until they start talking to me and collaborating with me. All the stuff coming out of their mouth to me is garbage. I have no feeling for them. The community I have a feeling for. I was a part in going through this community. I have many reviewers on my tube. Many. I know what everybody's doing. I know what everybody's talking about. I'm not stupid to the fact. I know what everybody's doing. And I'm tired of seeing the public getting screwed. And I know you guys are tired of getting screwed too. Screwed, glued, and tattooed. That's what it comes down to. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Screwed, glued, and tattooed? Maybe just everybody's not getting it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's pretty much what they want, is to get screwed everything they buy and then complain about it later on when it doesn't work for them. And it's ongoing cycle, over and over and over again. Ongoing cycles. It needs to stop. Seriously, it needs to stop. So all this drama is, when it comes to the end of the day, all this drama is, I'm just tired of the drama.
Guys don't see it changing anytime soon.
It's never going to change. It's not going to change until somebody makes that change.
Yep.
And if you're not going to make that change, it's not going to be worth it. It's going to take somebody like me to make that change and tell everybody what time it is. Seriously. It's the only way people are going to understand. That's what I have a feeling for. It's doing it again with the video thing. Sorry about my mouth not tracking to my voice, guys. You're just going to have to get used to it until I can figure this out. So, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Is my mouth still tracking normal, man?
Let me turn the volume on.
I'm sorry to ask.
It's a little off. A little off.
Yeah, I kind of figure, I think I know what's going on. Is when when voice tracking kicks on, or if motion tracking kicks on, what it does is it takes in YouTube. OBS is having a problem with it. There's a problem between OBS and Ozbot. So I turned off the tracking. The only way it's going to fix it is if I turn off OBS and turn it back on again. It's the only way it's going to fix it. So we're just going to have to get by until it's done, until this is over with. And we'll, because it doesn't do it on the videos. It only does it on the live stream. But we'll fix it. We'll get it. With power limiting this way, we have limited performance. We do not give up buying PCs. The only question is if we optimize software or start building tech properly at some point. Well, that's a good thing to say. Okay. When are they going to start building tech the right way? When are they going to start waking up and smelling the coffee? When are they going to start thinking about the consumer, the one that pays their bills? When are they going to start waking up? When are they going to stop screwing up so much and causing the consumer hundreds of thousands of dollars just to make their incentive kick? When are they going to grow up and become a big boy or a big girl and put on their panties? Who knows? Right, machine? Who knows? They ain't going to grow up. They're going to run around in diapers the rest of their life. They're going to be spoiled kids they're going to be nothing but spoiled rich kids. We've seen this in school for many of years, spoiled rich kids. I grew up, I'm going to tell you guys, I grew up on the lower end of the pole. Basically where, your poverty level. I grew up in living in poverty level. So as I got older, I worked at what I had to do to make my life better. But, back in the day, when your parents only making like $3 an hour, and that's minimum wage, so you can't expect them to do much. I've been working since I'm 10 years old, guys. 10 years old. I've been working in the restaurant industry since I was 10. I've been working on PCs since the late 70s, early 80s. I've been working on electronics late 70s, early 80s. So, is what it is. All I could do is tell you guys the proper way they should do this. And when I get all the pieces together, I'm going to take that and make my test bench right here for the 8 gauge wire. And I'm going to show you how to pull 1200 watts through that wire and show you it will not melt. That's right there at the end of the story. You pull 1200 watts through one of those wires they use for your GPU and try to pull 1200 watts. It's not going to happen. See, machine? You see what I'm saying now? Makes more sense, doesn't it? So, makes more sense when they invest and they actually look at the big picture. This could have been resolved years ago with this 12-volt high power. Years ago. It could have been resolved the first month. But no, it's never going to get resolved. No, never resolved, never. All right, guys. I think it's been fun. I'm glad you guys stuck around with me on that new test bench I'm going to be doing. So stick around for the future. We are going to have some build videos on that test bench. I might have to get me a couple more. We'll see what happens there.
Yep.
I got to get me a couple IKEA tables. I want them white, solid white. The ones that raise up and down, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want those, man. And I got to get me a portable bed, too. So this bed will be going bye-bye. My portable bed will be holding my comforter. And I can slide that off to the side in the corner. So I'll have a whole space just for the channel. Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hopefully you guys understand. I'm looking forward to the future. But also, too, don't forget, I'm looking forward if you start watching the videos for a change. Other than, I know some people are watching my videos, but I know most of you guys are not watching my videos. Only 263 people are watching my videos. 263. And only a third of them are the subscribers. A third. So, guys, I know you subscribe to the channel and I know you love to be here, but you got to give me watch time hours. We need to get past this milestone. We've already got 1,000 subscribers. Let's get to the 4,000 watch hours. 800 hours is not hard to break. I have 300. Well, actually, I got over 1,000 videos, but within today and back 1 year, those are the videos that count. The ones that are beyond that, they really don't count. That's the way YouTube makes it. Anything that's beyond 1 year, the amount of watch time hours don't count. So you want to help us get to the next level? Why do I gotta sit there and watch other dudes that don't even know how to frickin' do YouTube and talk about dumb shit and everything else? I get out here and I'm half a century old. Yeah, I look like your grandfather, maybe, but you know, come on, guys. It's not hard. You subscribe to the channel to do what? Help me. You got to watch the videos. I can't watch them. I'm only one person. You guys are many. I don't know, Machine. I keep trying, man. Maybe I'm trying too hard.
Yeah. Just go with the flow.
I'm trying to. I really am. I'm really trying to, man. But I'm so excited. I'm right there. I'm so excited, you know, because I want to take the channel to the next level. I mean, we've done so much. I still got a lot to learn. I admit I'm not perfect, but I know I got a lot to learn. I know I still got to learn a couple of things about my videos and make them even better. But, you know, that takes time and that takes money. So if I'm not earning any money for the channel, then the channel's not going to survive. I want this channel to survive. I'm not giving up on you guys. That's why you're here. I'm not giving up on my subscribers. I worked hard to get you guys here. I'm not giving up on you guys. Don't give up on me. Help me out for a change. Everybody runs off to different channels trying to help them out, but nobody wants to help good old Jay out. Nobody. Other than Mr. Machine and a couple other the Good Time gang here. But when you got 1,000 subscribers, only got a couple hundred that are, you know, trying to do the best they can. Where's the rest of the 1,000? I'm not bitching about it. I'm just saying. I hope by tomorrow, when everybody watches this video or the live stream replay, that they get the point. Help out the channel. I mean, everybody's running to everybody else's channel to give them all the views or the watch time hours. See, because they're fully monetized. I'm not. Partially monetized does not give me shit. Does not give me nothing. See, I got all those extra views that I cannot get paid for. And if I can't get paid for it, it does nothing for the channel. I don't know, Machine. Maybe I'm just preaching to the choir. You think?
We've talked about this in detail.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, MTBK. Thank you. I do appreciate it, bro. I do appreciate it. But anyway, Machine, it's about time. I think we need to jump out of here. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, it's over the 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Plus my arm's starting to hurt too. Stuff, you know. But anyway, guys, it's about that time. So we are at the end of the live stream, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. There will be more in the future coming up when it comes to live testing and everything else. We definitely got a lot cooking in the background. Hope you guys understand that. It's taken me time to get here to this point, but I'm actually able to financially start adding into the channel now. So I am going to start doing that, and hopefully everybody works along and helps me get the watch time hours. Get me over the hump. That's all I ask. It doesn't cost you anything to watch the video, but your time. That's all I ask. It's not so hard. Right, Machine? It's not so hard.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. I mean, that's, if you do it for free, you know, your free time, your free moment, your free half an hour, your free hour. We got 1,000 people plus the viewers. I mean, that 1 hour with all that thousands of people will be over the top within a day. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if you made it to the end, which I hope you did, because our end is going to be the beginning of the new. Hit the subscribe button. Keep me working. Hit the like button. Keep Mr. Machine and YouTube working.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about the notification bell so you know when I post the next video or live stream, which is always going to be on Wednesday. But again, till the next time. Oh, Machine, you got anything you want to tell anybody before we go?
Hit the like button. Sub. Watch.
There it is. Till the next time and the next video. You know what it is? We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.